Every few years, a car comes along that doesn't just fill a spot in a lineup, but actually changes the trajectory of a company. For Rivian, that moment isn't the R1T truck or the R1S SUV, as incredible as those are. No, the real make-or-break moment is sitting right here, the 2026 Rivian R2. Up until now, Rivian has been this aspirational, cool kid brand for people who can drop $80,000 or $90,000 on an adventure rig. But for the rest of us, we've been watching from the sidelines. The R2 is the invitation to the party. Starting at $45,000, this is a mid-size SUV designed to go head-to-head with the Tesla Model Y, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, and the Kia EV6. But it's doing it with a rugged, outdoorsy soul that those other appliances on wheels just can't match. Today, we're going to find out if Rivian managed to keep that premium, go-anywhere magic while cutting the price tag in half. We'll look at the clever storage, the massive tech leaps, and what it's actually like to live with a car that's designed to be your best friend on a camping trip. Walking up to the R2, the family resemblance is unmistakable. If you like the boxy, mini Land Rover look of the R1S, you're going to be a fan of this. It still has those iconic vertical stadium headlights that make it look like a friendly robot, and that full-width light bar that glows when you're charging. But the scale is what really hits you. It's about 15 inches shorter than its big brother, which makes a world of difference when you're trying to parallel park or fit into a standard suburban garage. It's tight, it's athletic, and it has these short overhangs. That's car speak for the distance between the wheels and the ends of the car. Having short overhangs isn't just for looks. It means you won't scrape the nose of the car when you're pulling into a steep driveway or heading off a dirt trail. One of the coolest features of the exterior has to be California Mode Light. Rivian knew people loved the open-air feel of older SUVs, so they gave the R2 a rear glass window that completely disappears into the tailgate. You can drop it while driving to get a breeze without that annoying wind buffeting sound, or use it to haul a long piece of lumber from the hardware store without leaving the trunk open. Even the rear side windows vent outward. It's these little quality-of-life touches that show Rivian actually thinks about how we use our cars. They've also moved the charging port to the rear passenger side and switched to the NACS, which is the Tesla-style plug. This is huge because it means you don't need a clunky adapter to use the Tesla Supercharger network. It's native, it's easy, and it's the future.
Stepping inside the R2, the first thing you feel is air. Because of that massive panoramic glass roof and the upright windows, the cabin feels twice as big as it actually is. Rivian uses a lot of sustainable materials, recycled woods, textiles that feel like heavy-duty outdoor gear, and vegan leathers, but it never feels cheap. It feels like a high-end Scandinavian living room that just happens to be waterproof. Now let's talk about the glove box incident. On the original R1 models, there was no glove box. None. People hated it. Rivian heard the feedback and didn't just add a glove box, they added two. There is a massive amount of storage in this dashboard now. But the real wow moment in the interior is the seating. We've seen cars with folding rear seats for decades, but in the R2, the front seats fold completely flat too. You can turn the entire interior into a perfectly level platform. If you're a camper, this is your dream. You can throw a twin-sized air mattress in here and sleep completely protected from the elements. No more wrestling with tent poles in the rain. Up front, you've got two big screens. One is right in front of you for your speed and navigation, and the other is a massive 15.6-inch hub in the center. They've also introduced these new scroll wheels on the steering wheel that use haptic feedback. When you scroll through a menu, the wheel gives you a little mechanical click feel, but it can change how it feels depending on what you're doing. It's tactile, it's premium, and it keeps your eyes on the road. Underneath all that pretty wood and recycled plastic is a brand new battery platform. Rivian is using a new cell called the 4695. Now, I promise not to get too bogged down in jargon, but here's why you should care. These cells are larger and can hold more energy while staying cooler. What that translates to for you is a range of over 300 miles on a single charge across the entire lineup. Whether you get the entry-level single motor, which is rear-wheel drive, or the high-performance Tri-Motor, you aren't sacrificing range for price. Speaking of that Tri-Motor, it is absolute overkill in the best way possible. We're talking about 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. That is faster than most Ferraris from just a few years ago. But even if you go with the dual-motor middle trim, you're getting all-wheel drive and plenty of shove to merge onto the highway or climb a snowy pass. The R2 also has nearly 10 inches of ground clearance. To put that in perspective, a standard Honda CR-V has about 8 inches. That extra height, combined with the instant torque, that's the immediate pulling power of an electric motor, means the R2 can actually handle some light off-roading. It's not a rock crawler, but it'll get you to that remote trailhead without breaking a sweat.
One of the best things about owning a Rivian is that the car actually gets better while it sits in your driveway. They use over-the-air updates, much like your iPhone. One morning you might wake up and find your car has a new camp mode or a revised interface for your music. For 2026, Rivian is leaning hard into autonomy. The R2 is packed with 11 cameras and 5 radar sensors. They're promising Level 3 hands-free driving on certain highways. This isn't just basic cruise control. It's a system that allows the car to handle the steering, braking, and lane changes while you keep an eye on things. It takes the white-knuckle stress out of a long road trip. And we can't talk about Rivian without talking about the frunk, the front trunk. Because there's no engine up front, you get a deep storage well that's perfect for wet hiking boots or a grocery run. Plus, there's the gear guard system. It's a set of cameras that watch the car while you're gone. If someone gets too close or tries to mess with your bike rack, the car records them and sends an alert to your phone. It even has a cute little cartoon Yeti that pops up on the screen to let people know they're being watched. It's that blend of high-tech security and lighthearted personality that makes this brand so likable. So let's talk turkey. $45,000 is the target starting price. Now, we know how these things go. By the time you add all-wheel drive and the bigger battery, you're probably looking at $55,000 or $60,000. But even at that price, it's a compelling value when you look at the competition. The Tesla Model Y is the king of this segment, and it's a great car, but it feels a bit sterile. It's a tech product. The Rivian R2 feels like a piece of outdoor gear. It's the difference between a high-end laptop and a GoPro. The biggest hurdle for Rivian is going to be production. They're building these in a huge new facility in Illinois, and they need to build a lot of them to keep up with the demand. If you put your $100 deposit down today, you're still looking at a bit of a wait. But is it worth the wait? If you want an EV that doesn't look like a jelly bean, that can actually handle a dirt road, and that has a soul you can feel every time you get behind the wheel, then yes, it's absolutely worth it.
At the end of the day, the 2026 Rivian R2 isn't just a smaller R1S. It's a smarter, more focused, and more accessible version of what an electric SUV should be. It doesn't ask you to choose between being eco-friendly and being adventurous. It gives you the range to get there, the power to have fun, and the clever interior to stay the night if you want to. It's a car that encourages you to go outside, and in 2026, that's a rare thing. I want to hear from you guys. Does the $45,000 price point make you finally want to go electric? Or are those stadium headlights still a deal breaker for you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth reviews of the cars that actually matter. I'll see you in the next one.